This is the Norris Group's Real Estate Investor Radio Show, the award-winning show dedicated to thought leaders shaping the real estate industry and local experts revealing their insider tips to succeed in an ever-changing real estate market. Hosted by author, investor, and hard money lender, Bruce Norris.
Hi, thanks for joining us. My name is Bruce Norris, and today our special guest is Alex Serrato. Alex is a local builder, flipper, and investor. We've partnered on quite a number of deals over the last few years. We've got 2 homes under construction, 2 just about to start, and working on some more. So, Alex, welcome.
Good morning, Bruce.
I guess I should say welcome back.
Welcome back.
We have actually a really good partnership, and from my side, I'm the money side, but I thought about the luxury that I have because you do a lot of work that I never have to see. You come to me with a lot that's like, okay, this is a good one,
right.
But I don't get to see all the journey that it takes to get, and how many lots you go through that don't make the cut.
Right. Yes.
So I want to talk a little bit about that process because, we have investors that probably are going to start doing construction because it's sometimes easier to find a lot that's profitable than it is to start with a product that you have to fix up right now. So it's going to be, manufactured home or stick built. And so the process to find a building lot, where do you begin that?
We usually find our land through the multiple listing service. And from time to time, we'll have a referral from somebody who owns a piece of land and they've thought about building themselves, but found it to be a challenge and are ready to hang the hat and just cash out.
Does that lead come from realtors or just people noticing what you're up to?
From people noticing what we're up to, word of mouth type of activity.
Okay.
Yes.
Are agents that deal with land, is that their niche or is that just like, I accidentally got a lot?
Most likely it's a niche. It's something that they focus on.
Okay. How repetitively is lot price just so big, there's no way it works or pencils?
Oh, many times. Probably 85% of the time, the seller just wants more than what the project will support. So, you do your due diligence, you research, you spend hours, days, whatever it takes, and then to find out either the price or the conditions set by the county or the city, whatever the conditions are, you have to pencil those in as well.
Right.
And figure out, how far are your utilities? Are you overhead or underground? And do you have curb and gutter, or do you have to do sidewalk and stuff like that you have to take in consideration?
There's been a lot for sale for at least 12 years in an area that is by Piedmont. I drove by yesterday just for fun. I said, certainly it's built on now. No, still the same old for sale sign. And, you just think, okay, well, you can ask whatever you want, but
right.
If it doesn't pencil, what are you going to do?
And there's sellers that will adjust the price to keep up with the inflation.
Exactly. So the
it wasn't
market's
affordable
good.
10 years ago, and they've gone up, so it's still not affordable. It still doesn't pencil out. So, yeah, we'll see it. We'll see it a lot.
The common product that you and I have been involved with is there's the lot, okay? And I know now you're sort of under negotiation with something that's multiple lots that we have to create.
Correct.
So how much, first of all, how did we find that? Is that something that found you or you pursued that?
I got a phone call from a broker who specializes in land listings, land transactions. So he called me and says, I've got this wonderful project. I thought of you first. This is almost a year ago.
Okay.
So we've been back and forth with the seller. Mr. Seller, your price is too high. They negotiate back and forth. We've walked away from the deal several times, and either seller makes contact, get me back to the table. Let's work it out. And we have an accepted offer as of yesterday.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. That's the one you and I talked about. That.
Yes.
That's kind of cool. So that's a 5-lot.
5 lots.
Subdivision.
Yes.
Where the gentleman's going to carry some paper for a couple of years.
Yes. We're going to go in with a certain amount down, and then another chunk of money when he moves out because he's living there on a trailer.
Right.
and then we'll carry the rest of the amount for up to 2 years at a 6% interest.
Okay.
We wanted 5, but that was one of the
that's one of the negotiations.
a point.
Yeah, that's a long time to be involved in the land. Now, what's interesting about that too is that since there was never a sign on the property, that was really 100% of just you and him.
Correct.
Not a lot of. So it's not like a fixer-upper showed up in the MLS where 25 offers showed up inside of 24 hours.
Correct.
So this is more isolated, and that's preference.
There are times when the broker or realtor will have a pocket listing, and they call you and you only, and that's how you have access to some of the inventory that's not listed.
I could see how that would be really beneficial in land too, because you could go down a journey where somebody really didn't know what they were doing. I think that's what this is about too, because I'm trying to help our client understand they probably don't know what they're doing. Because if I stood on a lot with you, you would know a lot more instantly than I would.
Right.
You'd be looking at going, yeah, this won't work. And you'd have all these things tick off in your mind, and I'd going, looks flat to me.
It's dirt. Yes.
What are some of the things that you actually see almost instantly that this is going to be a problem?
Immediately, I look for utilities.
Okay.
Where's your power line? Where's your fire hydrant? Where do you have gas? Do you have propane? Those are the immediate tell signs.
Okay.
And then from there, you start looking. Is there grading involved? Do you see little holes on the ground? That's something is burrowing into. Is it a burrowing owl? Is it a kangaroo rat? What kind of species are living and native to that?
Yeah.
That you have to deal with. Is there a puddle of water somewhere that just doesn't seem to disappear? So do you have water at the surface? That those things. Look for a certain tree that is green and everything else is dry. Where is that tree getting water from? There you go.
Wow. So the list is long, and you can't even, you just rattle off, 10 things that probably most people wouldn't even think about, but there you go.
They become second nature once you start looking at land and doing your research and learning, and that's how.
Is there any education that's been written about that type of stuff?
I'm sure somewhere,
Okay.
but I haven't come across it. It's just been growing pain.
I think I'd like to go out with you sometimes in the beginning and just look at stuff and, to learn the process. So if it passes that initial inspection where you get on the lot and say, okay, all right, we got a shot here, then what's next?
Next is, you could either go to city or county or whichever agency handles that area and start doing your due diligence. But recently, I've found that a lot of the agencies have a website, so you can log into the county of Riverside has their website. City of Riverside has a website, so you can get familiar with their website, and a lot of times you can do a lot of research before you actually go to the location, to the building department, and spend 2 hours sitting there
waiting your turn,
right, and not know what you're going to ask or not have the information.
Do they appreciate the fact that you've already done a lot of that? They
absolutely do. When you show up there and you have the report in front of you and you have your notes and they can see you've done your homework, and they get very involved and energetic.
And that's important. It's a people business too at that point, where they kind of know you have done some of your work that makes them more involved and helpful. And if you don't do that, they can also be the opposite pretty easily.
Exactly. They're just another individual, going
to waste my time here.
Wanting information and, stuff like that. So.
How different are cities to work with? I mean, do you have a city that you go, oh gosh, I'm glad the lot's there, or another city where you go, oh no?
There's pros and cons to every city. And they're all wonderful, but there's challenges. There's challenges with every city, and some of them, you just have to get to learn them.
Okay. How reliable is the information that you are getting? When you're talking to somebody that you're feeling is the person, and do they ever put this stuff in writing? Because you're kind of relying on what they're saying is accurate.
Right. Good question. A lot of times you don't know. You've been told, you've been given some information over the counter, or you've seen some guidance, but you don't really know until you submit your plans, and that plan checker gives you a 20-page report of corrections or conditions, or a 1-page report of conditions, whatever they dictate, whatever those conditions are, that's your clearance. That's what you need in order to get your permit.
What's the title of that person? What is their
plan checker?
Plan checker. Okay.
Plan checker. Now, there's different plan checkers. There's building and safety plan checker. There's public works plan checker, transportation plan checker. There's just a multitude of conditions that you have to satisfy.
But if you think about what you just said, there's a lot of work done in advance of you even knowing the score on your particular set of plans for a lot.
Absolutely, yes.
So you're not interested in closing that lot until after that, I'm sure.
Right, but a lot of times the seller is not going to wait the 3 months or 6 months or whatever it is. So you have to be sure that that lot is going to satisfy for whatever reason you want it for. If you want to build, you make sure that the soils report is clean. It's a place where you can develop and stuff like that. The rest you'll find out as you go. Okay.
Would you buy a lot without a soils report?
I don't guarantee it. I don't recommend it.
Right. No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I don't recommend it, especially if you're unknown to that area and you kind of just don't have the information. Is that soils report going to require that you excavate 6 feet and recompact, or is it going to require that you excavate 4 feet and compact and all that? It's just money at the end of the day.
Have you ever dealt with somebody that has a piece of land and they've touched it in a way that the city disapproves of? So they just said, I'll just get a tractor out here and do my own grading or something.
Oh, absolutely. We see it all the time.
Okay.
We see it all the time where property owner has come across some free dirt and they take advantage of it, and they import 2,000, 3,000 cubic yards of dirt and just never compact or go through the process. You buy it, now you're responsible for that. You have to move all that dirt, recompact, and
could it be dirt that shouldn't even be there? God forbid.
Like, you have to be careful it's not contaminated,
right,
or stuff like that. So there are those areas where you have to be careful.
As a lender, we really don't get involved until the permit's in place.
Right.
Is that a good idea? I mean, it sounds really conservative, but I don't think I'd want to do it before then.
Right. And it is, because there's a lot of work to be done before you get to the part of permits. And there might be a new property owner that would enjoy having that loan in place or having that money in place, but it could be 3 months, it could be 9 months, and in that time there's holding costs.
Right.
And every month that goes by is a chunk of money, and it just might be a hole that he doesn't want to be in.
Yeah, you also could get surprises still right at the end.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, every once in a while, when we have a project, Norco, that was where we had something weird about the street height or something, where we had to grind.
Elevations were off, yes.
Yeah. So, that took a few months to resolve. It wasn't a couple of days.
It took several months to get the engineers to redraw the plans, to get them resubmitted to the city to approve them, and get the contractors back out there to do the work. That's several months.
But we already had a house.
We had a house finished, done. Yes.
Right. But the elevation of the street?
The storm gutter, the drain storm gutter.
Okay.
Yes.
So we
was off, so we had to demo it and do it again.
Off by 2 feet or 2 inches?
No, it was just inches. Inches, yes. Yeah. Yes. And it wasn't even the work, it was the process of getting the surveyors, the engineer, the plans, the plan review time, and then actually doing the work. Doing the work was a few days.
Yeah. And all that other was just time involved.
The red tape involved in getting there.
Having people familiar with you and trusting that you do good work, how big of a deal is that when you're doing new homes?
It's monumental. It's very, very important that you treat people, I would say, with respect, or follow through. If you have a commitment and obligation, make sure you follow through, because they're in the same boat as well. They're working for a living, and if you don't take care of them or prolong their payment process, then you probably won't see them again, and you'll get a bad reputation.
of what benefit is you use repetitive plans. So the homes we've built before.
Correct.
And you've built before even I got involved. So why do you do that? Why is that beneficial?
Well, the most important benefit to that is the buyers respond. The fact that it's a product that you're going to be able to sell without complications.
Right. You already know
Correct.
This is an acceptable
feedback,
layout and all that.
The feedback that you're getting from the buyers is telling me, hey, this is something you want to keep building.
Right.
Second is, you know your window inventory, you know your lumber inventory, you know a lot of your inventory, you know how much it's going to cost. Everything is going up in price, but at least you have an idea of how much it's going to cost to build a house.
Does it help that your subs have done the same house over and over again?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. The framers love it. They just look at the plans. Okay, everything's the same. They go at it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I went to the house yesterday. We were already, the roof's already sheeted.
Yes.
And that was pretty
we
fast.
We have trusses, sheathing, fascia, all in a few days.
Yeah, that was, because you just told me the trusses showed up maybe Sunday.
Yes.
So, yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I took a picture of it, actually.
Wonderful.
One of the houses, and this was unique, that we're going to be building had a house already there. But it had burnt.
Yes.
So I guess I've heard several different versions of what you can do. One of them is you take down the existing house, leave a wall, and build the same exact house. And there's some benefits to that in cost.
Right.
In this particular case, do we have anything left of the burnt house?
No, a matter of fact, I got a demo permit and I removed the part that was there.
The part, okay.
The part that was there. Not much foundation, and 2 walls that were built out of block that didn't burn.
Was that a drive-by looking, or is that in the MLS?
I drove by. Yes, that was a drive-by, and I called on it, and the seller wanted an enormous amount of money, like $260.
Okay.
For burnt property. And we got it for the low hundreds.
Low hundreds,
Yes. So the seller overpriced it. The product became stale.
It was in the MLS at one time?
At one point, it was in the MLS.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
a realtor got involved. First, it was the seller. He put a sign out there for sale by owner, and he wanted just an unrealistic amount. So it took time, but then once we got to the correct price, and it made sense.
Okay. When you're penciling this house, is the cost different because it had an existing house there at one time?
It is a little bit different on permits, and it varies from city to city. Some cities will give you credit, other cities won't. What I get credit for on this particular property is that the water meter's in place, the gas meter's in place. I am going to try and do a no grading so that we don't have to grade. You get 3 of the larger fees are exempt, so that saves you about $25,000.
What are those
just
fees?
On those. I remember Tom's open space, and there's one more that I can't recall right now.
But those are
3 fees.
Those are already covered because the home had already been built?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Connected to the sewer, or is there a sewer?
It's
out
septic.
There?
In
it's
that
septic
area.
out there.
Right.
Yeah,
yes.
I kind of thought that. Okay.
Right. School fees, it depends on the day and which person you come across. I'm going to say it because I've had that situation on Verta. We got school fee waived, and on Barton, they won't waive though.
Interesting.
So
now, okay, let's talk about Verta. Verta was an existing manufactured home on a single family lot, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it wasn't in a park, wasn't a rental.
Correct.
Land. It was fee simple land.
Right.
But now it wasn't burnt. You had rented it out until the price got to where it was profitable to build.
Yes.
What did you do with that manufactured home?
I got a demo permit, and we demoed it. And
okay.
Got rid of it completely.
Must have been good, huh?
It was fun.
It wasn't worth saving, I meant.
Oh yeah, no. Oh no, it was a head scratcher. had additions of stucco, some were plywood, some were. It was just, it was a disaster.
Okay.
But we kept the footprint of the square footage. So the square footage was under 1,500. We built similar square footage. I went to the school district and I explained to them what I was doing. I had a printout of the tax assessor's square footage verification. So I took that with me, and that seemed to help because they were able to confirm that what was there was similar to what I'm going to build as far as square footage.
And
yes,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now that didn't have a foundation, right?
No foundation.
Okay.
No.
But they passed on the school fees.
Like I said, it's a hit and miss.
Okay. There's no policy that.
I'm sure there's a policy there, but it
can change with who you talk to.
Exactly. Yes,
wow.
Yes. So it's hard to say, okay, if I buy this property, am I going to get credit for everything I just mentioned? It's kind of an unknown, and it depends.
The project that you just put into escrow basically yesterday.
Yes.
There we don't have 5 lots yet.
Correct.
So how long is the journey for that? And we also have to deal with a street, right?
Yes.
But there was some circumstances there that doesn't have to be paved.
Correct.
Okay.
The track conditions, once you do your research and you look at, so in order for the track map to be approved, it has to go through every department, and they'll give you a report of conditions. And now, even though this happened in 2006, the owner has been filing extensions, and he's good until September of 2019.
Okay.
Okay. So those conditions that are set are already conditions that have to be honored. And on there, when you look at the street improvements, they're allowing just aggregate base, which is easy to work with.
Okay.
Instead
and acceptable to that area for the buyer of the home.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Probably a plus. Not a dirt road. Yay.
Not a dirt. It's base. It's base material.
That's funny. Minute and a half left. The team that you have for construction, is that been the same team for years?
For the most part, yes.
Okay.
I've had people who've been there that I use repetitively.
And how simple was that made your job?
Oh, it's wonderful. I know them. They know me. We know what we're doing, and it's
what's the secret of creating that team and retaining it? Because that's really an important thing.
Probably goes to what I mentioned, is just take care of them. Make sure you take care of, do what you told them you're going to do. You negotiate a price and make sure you follow through. Make sure you pay them on time.
Yeah.
They know what they need to do, and as a builder, you do what you're supposed to do.
Okay. Do you see things picking up? You're watching all this stuff going on. Do you see building getting?
I see it. Yes, I see it. Inspectors that I speak with see it as well. Vendors see it as well. And supplies and materials.
Are prices of labor going up?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Not necessarily. I'm not seeing it quite there yet.
But
material is going up. It's gone up. Roofing material, every time I order, it's gone up.
Oh, wow.
It's like, really? You just had a price increase 90 days ago. Oh, yeah, we got another one in another 90 days.
Wow.
So, roofing material has gone up.
Well, Alex, thank you so much for joining us and help us get a little bit more understanding about how to get to the finish line on a new construction project. We really appreciate it.
Quite welcome. Thank you.
For more information on hard money loans and upcoming events with the Norris Group, check out thenorrisgroup.com. For information on passive investing with trust deeds, visit tngtrustdeeds.com.